Okay, you ready
Ready.
You ready to move on and be really...
How many awards are we talking?
I can't show you until after, but there's a lot.
It gives you a number, I thought.
No.
Oh, you'd have to add them up. Okay.
1, 2, 2.
Okay.
26, 27, 23.
So a lot. I'm here for it.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I'm
scared.
I found out that my husband is storing sealed jars of diarrhea.
No way. Okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm excited for the reasons why.
Okay.
I only found this out a few hours ago, and I'm not sure how to deal with this, so any help or advice is appreciated. While cleaning out the kitchen pantry, I, 24 female, was dusting the top shelf, which I can't see the top of, and noticing the clanging of jars up there. So I got out the stepladder, and up there is 14 jars filled to the brim with diarrhea and sealed with lids. The consistency in the jar ranges from brown water. Wow.
It sounded like you just threw up a little bit.
I know.
You should keep that noise in there.
I kind of did.
That was disturbing.
It
From so clear in the headphones, too.
It was so clear.
I'm so sorry, everyone. No, this little drink makes you burp. And then it was like at the most inappropriate time.
Please keep that, please.
The consistency in the jars ranges from brown water to a thick black sludge, like a mixture of blended slugs. And the jars are arranged in order from most watery to most viscous.
They're ordered?
I only know it's diarrhea is in the jar because I made the mistake of opening one.
No.
And the stench is unmistakably the same as what he leaves behind in the bathroom. The smell was so bad I can still feel it burning in the back of my throat. I only live with my husband, 42 male, and he has grim and gruesome IBS-D, his words. But I'm just lost for words as to why he would poo into jars to be sealed and kept. Do I tell him what I found? Do I just get rid of them?
You got to tell him. You can't just... that clearly something's going on. Like, he's not just going to stop just because you got rid of them.
Something's wrong here.
Yeah.
The only time I've pooped into anything is when I had to send it into the doctor.
I thought this was going to be a good story. I was like, you
But-
pooped into something? What was it?
First of all, okay,
sounds so normal.
I'm not going to understand this one, but
Is anyone?
he's got to be scooping. I mean, there's just a lot of talent to be, especially if we're talking the
If it's
Rhea.
a big jar, you could...
Yeah, some
Bro,
of those.
the Rhea goes everywhere though. Like,
There's some splatter for sure.
so was he
might just
polishing the
clean it
outside of the
up
jars?
afterwards. Yeah.
Like, I'm even imagining the maneuverability you have to do here, but like even with those wide mouth mason jars, depending
Not
on
that wide.
depending on where he's holding it though and positioning it under him, he's definitely like spraying onto his own hand as well. Because
Probably.
that jar has to be like, if he's doing it in the bathroom, like in the toilet or like over a tub.
No, he's doing it in front of the family.
Yeah,
I guess
literally.
I guess this one could be worse.
Yeah.
So
So, okay, but Justin made a good point. He's only ever done that because he's had to send it into a doctor. Do we think because he has IBS, there's any chance that the doctor was like, please like monitor your poops for like a week or a month?
maybe that's why they're ordered.
And then
based
he was
on
just
density.
like, yeah, and then he was just embarrassed because he didn't want to be like, hey, honey, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Like, could that be a possibility or what do we think?
I feel like if I had that going on, I'd be like, babe, guess what I have to do?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be like
True.
hiding them in the kitchen.
Yeah, but everyone's different with stuff like that with their significant others. Like I'm not at all like shy about that, but I know Morgan doesn't even want to fart in front of you. So.
still has
I'd
them.
still tell him about something like this, though. I'd be like, this is so weird and gross, but I have to do this.
Right. But some people might not, you know?
Yeah,
like
everyone's comfortability. It is interesting. The age gap was a little, like, I got to the age gap when I was like 24, 42, bad at math, but that's a big
Oh, I
one.
didn't even notice that.
Yeah, so there are some updates. I don't know what they entail.
18 years.
Update: after having a mini mental breakdown this week after my horrific fine last week, I feel I owe you all an update. First of all, thank you wholeheartedly to all who gave me advice, encouragement, and help. I really appreciate it. I apologize for the lack of replies, but my life has just been flipped upside down, and I've been in panic attack mode all week. 2 days after finding my husband's stash of jarred diarrhea, I decided to ask him about it. At first, he winced and denied there was anything up there, so I retrieved all the jars and laid them on the kitchen counter and asked him again. Only he and me live here, so he definitely put them there. I told him that. He denied they were full of diarrhea this time and said that he had forgotten about them and that they were simply jars of exotic jams gone bad.
Yeah.
I told him to stop lying and just tell me the truth if he was pooing into jars or not, and why he was keeping them. He finally cracked and got angry at me, asking what the big deal was and that he wasn't hurting anyone, so I threw the jars in the garbage outside. He wasn't happy when I did this and physically tried to restrain me by grabbing my wrists and hitting my side. I didn't speak to him for the rest of the day and holed up in the spare room as he had scared me. I checked the garbage later in the day and the jars were gone. He had taken them out and put them somewhere else. In this moment, I know he has chosen jars of curdled turds over his own wife.
Wow, so I was wishful thinking way too hard.
Damn, Holly.
Yeah, my dog's just out here wrecking shit. It's not done yet.
Oh.
Oh, good.
My aim was to get the locks changed when he went to work the next day and kick him out, but I chickened out on the idea. I asked him to leave to give me some space, but he said that he owns the house and that I live here for free. I more than pay for rent by cleaning up the house all day, washing his clothes, and cooking all his meals. I packed a bag throughout the next day and left for my sister's house in the night last Wednesday, catching the last bus of the night as I don't have my own mode of transportation. My sister has been great in taking me in, as herself and the rest of my family, including my parents, have never liked my husband. My husband has tried calling me and messaging me about 100 times, but I can only ignore him right now as my panic attack anxiety comes in waves every time he tries to contact me. I will be filing for divorce, not just because he keeps jars of fecal goop, but because he hurt me in trying to defend them. There are possessions of mine at the house, which I can't go back for, so I will have to send my brother and brother-in-law for me to get these. Apologies for the rambling update. There's a lot more to add. It's just my brain is racing 1,000,000 miles a minute, and I'm just glad I feel safe now.
That
Damn.
is wild.
Took quite the turn there.
Wow. I and also I forgot, this is the one that you said that was crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
So
is just...
and I'm over here like, well, maybe it's for
I didn't
medical purposes.
I didn't know all this though. Like a lot of people sent this one to me, and I read the title to like save it for the live show. But
Yeah.
this is one of the ones that like I didn't read because so many people sent it to me, and like
Right.
I asked a lot of people. I was like, would this one be good for the live show? Do you need to leave? Hold on, I gotta let Holly out.
Okay.
Okay, back to poop jars. Needy puppy.
So what do we think this is? Like, what is going on here?
I don't even want to think about it.
I honestly, I don't know. I think this is like another one of those like unusual mental health issues.
But what though? You know, like what? I mean, and I guess we don't
have
want to
to-
like.
We'd have to whip out a DSM-5.
Yeah,
That thing's thick.
yeah, it's really interesting.
I don't know. Let's see. Top comment. Oh, top comment. Weren't you and your husband on an episode of Extreme Hoarders? This sounds familiar. You're probably joking, but was that in an actual episode? I don't know if it's the one they are referring to, but there is an episode about a woman who pooped in empty milk jugs and left them all over her house. She also liked it when some poop got in her food.
Wow.
Okay.
So
So maybe it's one of those extreme hoarders, or like that show on TLC, like My Crazy Strange Obsession. Like there was a woman on there eating mothballs. There was a man that was like trying to have sex with his car.
I guess my kind of confusion is his attachment to them. Like, why couldn't he just be like, oh yeah, whoops, and then like go off and poop in jars again?
Isn't that scary though? Like when you first find out that the person they're married,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that you're married to, you just really don't fully know them? Wouldn't that be
yeah,
the most
the
scary
secrets.
thing?
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do if I found your poop jars. I don't know. This kind of reminds me of a Hoarders episode though, because we used to watch that one show for a while, the Hoarders show, and it's really sad because these people, you know, they do realize, wow, what have I gotten myself into? How did I let it get this far? And they're crushed by it. But then when they go to clean out their houses and they are like, okay, keep or trash, and they'll look at a piece of trash like it's their most like prized possession. And so I think hoarding is one of those like really for me it would be the biggest thing to struggle with. It's one of those like mental health conditions that is so debilitating and can really mess with your health and life.
Yeah, it's tough because a lot of the things I think a lot of those episodes were from people who came from poverty.
Yeah.
And so they like wanted to hold on to anything they could. Which
Well,
sorry, but like a lot of the items actually you could look at. I know a lot of it was trash.
Yeah.
I get that, but I think that built up over time. But I think some of the items too, it becomes like mini hoarding starts with like, oh, I could use that. I'll need that for something someday. Or
Yeah.
I'll need like little things like that. But this is just so far away from that. It's so far.
I know.
When I was younger, I used to have kind of like a harder time with. It's funny because like I'm not a hoarder, but Sarah will be like, "You're a hoarder."
I hold on to so much stuff for like
Yeah.
the exact reason that Justin just described. Like, oh well, what if I need it
What if I
someday?
need it someday?
Like,
Exactly.
it's still useful.
Yeah, but when I was really little and my mom used to have me clean up stuff, I was like way worse about like getting rid of stuff, and now I'm a lot better. But like, I really don't have that much stuff, so it's just funny that Sarah's like, it all fits in a really small storage unit right now because I'm.
When you start to move a lot, you learn how much shit you don't need.
Yeah. But when I was little, I used to, it's funny because I like had such this like storybook kind of mind where I was like, everything was this adventure kind of thing. So I would look at things and I'd be like, this could be worth $5 million one day. I can't get rid of it. I can't. What if one day they're like, this is worth $5 million on the TV? And I'm like, I had that and I got rid of it.
I keep seeing. Oh my God, you were reminding me of that show that used to be on PBS, and it's been on TikTok a lot lately. But Antique Roadhouse, and it was like, oh yeah, my mom picked it up at a garage sale for like $2, and they're like, ma'am,
In that voice.
ma'am, this is a Picasso plate. This is worth $10,000.
Oh my God.
I was just like, well, you never know. And then
Yeah.
and then I go on Coin Reddit because I still follow Coin Reddit from getting Justin a present there. And literally on Coin Reddit, they post pictures of
That's
these
so
like
cool.
one of a kind pennies. And so they'll post pictures of these pennies and oh, it's a rare Washington mint, blah, 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 blah. I have no idea what they're even saying. It's a different language. It's worth $15,000.
Yeah.
Oh, it's worth $100,000. I'm like, no, that's a penny. How would anyone know? It's a penny.
And I'm over here, I'm like, I have a pen from Costco. I'm like, this could be big bucks.
To someone, it could be.
Yeah.
It just takes the right person.
Yeah.
But I was just like looking up, I Googled hoarding, like cause of hoarding. And the reason someone becomes a hoarder include altered brain connections, genetics, stress, OCD, environmental factors, and altered levels of serotonin, which altered levels of serotonin altered levels of serotonin and dopamine can cause like a lot of things like schizophrenia is like associated with that. Like neurotransmitters are a big thing, but genetics is interesting to me. I never would have guessed there's like a genetic factor in that,
interesting.
but
The brain's a powerful thing.
One of my things still that I like have a hard time getting rid of is birthday cards.
yeah.
But what's funny is that it's like the ones that are really heartfelt, I'm keeping. Like, fuck you for calling me a hoarder, Sarah. Just kidding. But like, I'm keeping this one. But it's like the ones that are like HBD, Lauren. It's like
Right.
tags, have a great summer. And
Right.
I'm like, you know what? It's really meaningful.
And the longer you have it, the harder it is.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, well, I kept it this long. But I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess I don't need this many birthday cards. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw someone that like they like saved them, but they like scanned them so they were more flat and then put them in like a Pokemon deck card holder.
Oh, smart.
So then like you can keep them, but they're not as fat.
yeah.
But I've been really starting to keep cards, especially the ones from my grandma that are just like so like her beautiful cursive and just so thoughtful.
Oh yeah.
You
for
have
sure.
an eyelash.
Where?
Aw.
Help.
It's really stuck to you.
I know. Wow.
You're supposed to have her blow it, are you not?
He said make a wish. I didn't.
She was talking and breathing out as,
Yeah,
you know,
uh-huh.
it was, yeah.